Thank you for joining me for this week's online yoga class fundraising for Yemen Emergency Appeal. I've honestly been so blown away with donations to reach over £300 from the last 3 classes. That's just been amazing. And I feel so grateful that I can use my time and energy to raise money for a cause I really care about. So thank you everyone for donating, for practicing, for sharing. Yeah, I really appreciate it, and I think it's an awesome cause that we've raised so much money for. Yeah. So due to popular request, this week I'm going to share a heart chakra focused yin practice. So we'll be mainly stimulating the heart and opening through the chest, but harmonising it with the element of earth. So we can explore these areas of vulnerability, these areas of the heart, with the comfort and the security and the groundedness of the root chakra. So yeah, I'm excited to share this practice with you. If you haven't done so already, if you just pause the video and start the Spotify playlist and another link, so it's playing while we practice. And when you're ready, just find your way to a comfortable seated position to start with a little meditation. Arriving in your seat and just closing down the eyes. Starting to tune into the space you're practicing in. Opening the senses. Noticing any sounds, any smells. The temperature, the feeling of your skin in the place that you're practicing. Then slowly taking your consciousness, your awarenessness inwards. Just noticing your breath. Where in your body feels expansive. Where the breath flows easily and where maybe it feels blocked. Where maybe you feel tight. Tracing the S-shaped curve of your spine. And feel this general surrendering and heaviness of the lower half of your body, and the sense of lift and lightness in the upper half of your body. These opposing forces. Like your spine is the stem of a flower growing from its roots. The flower being the head. I'm going to start with our Anahata Bandha meditation. So as we inhale, drawing energy from the base of our spine and breathing from the base of our spine to the center of our heart. And then as we exhale, sending this energy from the center of our heart back down to the base of our spine. So you inhale this Shakti energy up from the root of the spine to around the heart center. And we exhale Shiva energy down from the heart to the root. And feeling each inhalation brings this expansiveness, this space. I like to visualize this pure white light spilling and filling the heart. Really sitting with and embracing this meditation. Feeling like the heart is expanding, the space around the heart's expanding. We're directing energy to this center. And then just gently letting go of this breathing exercise. And then going back to breathing the full length of your spine. Allowing the breath to wander where it wants to. And whilst we're feeling expansive in the heart, taking our hands to prayer in the heart center. And finding ourselves an intention for today's practice. My intention today is to offer my energy, my practice to those in Yemen who are suffering, who are fundraising for through this online class. Maybe planting the seed and dedicating your practice to those suffering in the worst humanitarian crisis of this century in Yemen. Or maybe someone else, someone closer to home comes to mind that you want to send the energy you're cultivating around the heart space to. Maybe it's yourself. Maybe you need that love right now. We're going to start the practice with an Om, the universal sound connecting us all. Inhaling to the space around the chest. Heart open, back strong. Exhaling to sigh the breath out. Inhaling to Om on the exhale. Before we start, taking a moment to bask in that vibration in the center of your heart. The sound of union with all beings. Knowing that wherever you are in the world, there's this connection of all our attention and intention to this greater cause. Nice. So the first yin posture we're going to start today with is open angel. So coming to lie on the belly. We're going to take our arms out to a T and then just gently rolling over towards the right hand side, so lifting the right hip up, stacking the right hip on top of the left or beyond that, and coming into this left shoulder. We can use this right hand as kind of leverage to adjust the depth to which we go into this pose. If you need some more space, we can also bend up this left leg. It takes kind of more weight over the shoulder. If you do feel kind of compression or like you're stuck in this shoulder, maybe adjusting the angle of this left arm, finding a juicy spot where you can create space around the chest. When you arrive in your position, just closing your eyes and enjoying starting to activate this heart and lung meridians, the heart chakra, for 3.5 minutes. So throughout this practice, like I would in a real person class, real life class, you know what I mean. I'm going to demonstrate and guide you into the posture, and then I'll probably come back to a seated position so I can observe the time. As I can't be there with you through this practice, just be really cautious and listen to your own body. You know your own body, trust your own body. Remembering the 3 principles of yin, these being stillness, surrender, and surfing the edge of resistance. Not like the surfboards there in the corner. So throughout this practice, we need to let go of kind of any aesthetic ideal of a pose, any yoga journal images of a pose, and instead it's all about tapping into the feeling of a pose, the energetics of a pose. Finding your posture, the pose that your body, your anatomy, your shape allows for you. Greeting that with compassion. As we target this heart chakra, this is the energy center of our body, associated with grief, attachment, love, kind of our relationship with others, with the world around us. And so just inviting yourself throughout this practice to be really curious as to what arises for you on the physical layer, on the mental layer, maybe beyond that. As we explore, we activate, we move into these energy lines of the body. Coming into the final minute of this first yin posture. Okay, when you're ready, slowly releasing and coming to take our first rebound. So a rebound's just this break between poses for us to really observe and build this connection between the mind and the body and notice the effects of the pose on more superficial layers. Maybe resting on the belly, resting on one cheek. Noticing your state of mind even after just this first posture. Arriving from the busyness of our day into the stillness of yin. And then when you're ready, taking the arms back to a T, and we're going to come into this open angel, but opening the right shoulder this time. So we're going to stack our left hip on top of our right, take the left foot over, and just start to open into this right shoulder, the full right side of the chest. Again, variations with the angle of your right arm, with lifting up the right leg to increase intensity. Three and a half minutes here. whilst I remind you to keep these principles of the yin practice, stillness, surrender and surfing the edge within each pose, I also love the hour of yin or the yin practice as a space within this crazy, busy, shouting world to find some stillness, to give up control and surrender into the posture, to start to sit and feel uncomfortable, to feel comfortable with being uncomfortable, sitting in maybe uncomfortable positions, moving into areas where we maybe store tension that feels uncomfortable, and learning through sitting in stillness to approach these feelings with compassion, with kindness. I'm coming into the final minute here. Maybe in these last 45 seconds, taking this pose slightly deeper if appropriate. So you're staying, surfing this edge. The edge throughout the posture maybe gets further and further, deeper and deeper. We kind of chase this edge, we surf this edge. And when you're ready, slowly making your way out to line your belly for a rebound, maybe resting on the opposite cheek that you did last time, and just taking these couple of minutes to notice any shifts, any sensations from holding this posture. Okay, the next yin posture we're going to come into, staying on our belly, is a sphinx. So we're just going to come up to rest on our forearms. There's variation with how close your forearms are. The closer, the deeper the stretch, the deeper the opening of the heart. We should feel a mild compression in our lower spine. This is actually really nice. It's really stimulating for the urinary bladder channel, especially the acupressure points 22 to 25. So it's kind of quite revitalizing and quite energizing. If you need some more depth in this posture, maybe taking your forearms onto a block or a bolster or a pillow. Finding your appropriate edge. And we're going to be here for 4 minutes. we're now halfway through this hold, maybe taking it up into a seal, coming onto the hands to create a kind of deeper compression of the lower spine. This compression is actually really good for keeping healthy discs, really stimulating. But if it feels too much, or like it's pinching, or if you notice your glutes start to engage as you lift up, come back down to the forearms. This is about gently stimulating. We don't want any force, any control, any engagement. We want complete surrender of the muscles to allow this opening of the whole fascia chain along the front line of the body. We're into our last minute. Allow that cue to take you slightly deeper, if appropriate, maybe walking your hands a little bit closer. Okay, then when you're ready, slowly releasing, and this time rolling onto your back to take a rebound, lying flat on your back like a mini Shavasana. I'll give approximately a 2-minute rebound between each pose. So we've got ample time for introspective exploration of what the pose does to us, what the pose brings up for you. If the mind starts to wander in these few minutes, know that's okay. And once you notice it off in a faraway place, just guide it back to what's happening for you in this moment. Try and keep your awareness, your consciousness anchored into the present moment through the experience of the 3 layers of your body, through the physical experience, the mental experience, the emotional experience. The difference between mental and emotional being mental is the chatter of the mind. Emotional is deep feelings, fear, anxiety, grief, happiness, elation that arise. Okay. The next posture we're going to come into to harmonise our opening of the heart is a twisted roots, which is really nice for the nervous system, nice and calming. So we're going to start with the right hand side. So shifting the hips over towards the right, lifting both legs up to 90 degrees, then wrapping the right leg over the left once or maybe twice. Then allowing the knees to fall over towards the left as you gaze back towards the right. So you should feel this nice deep stretch along the obliques, along the sidelines. So we're going to be there for 4 minutes either side. So this pose is really harmonising between the root and the heart. air and earth. And the higher your knees are in this twist as well, the more you'll feel it in the heart, the deeper it'll be in the upper back. The lower down, the more in the lower back. So maybe adjusting that. So we get a little bit of stimulation through the heart and the lung meridians through the arms being in a T position if that's where you've taken them. But mainly we get the gallbladder meridian running along the sideline of our body. And a bit of the urinary bladder as well, as we twist the full spine. Okay, we're coming into the last minute of this twist. Being observant of the effect it's had on your nervous system, physically in your body, on this stretching of the whole outside line of the body, mentally, physically. Okay, and when you're ready, slowly releasing to take a rebound, lying on your back. Sitting with any experiences that are arising for you right now. Maybe at some point throughout this practice you need to just take a nice deep inhale in and then just sigh everything out. It can feel really nice when emotions start coming up or things start rising to the surface that you feel uncomfortable with. Just let them go with a sigh. You're in your own house, your own space, and your own comfort. Within your own body. Okay, let's take twisted roots onto the opposite side. So coming to lay on our back, taking our arms out to a T, shifting our hips over towards the left, then lifting both legs up 90 degrees. This time twisting the left leg, wrapping it round the right once or maybe twice, taking the knees over towards the right and gazing back towards the left. Adjusting the position of the knees till we feel this nice stretch along the full side line of the body, the full fire line. And then closing the eyes if they're not closed already, and surrendering into this pose for the next 4 minutes. So in this heart chakra practice, I really wanted to share and bring awareness to the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra 1.33. I'm not going to attempt to say it in Sanskrit, but it translates roughly as, by cultivating attitudes of friendliness towards the happy, compassion for the unhappy, delight in the virtuous, and disregard towards the wicked, the mind stuff retains its undisturbed calmness. So this is kind of saying that there's 4 kinds of locks in this world. The 4 locks are sukha, or happy people, dukkha, unhappy people, punya, the virtuous, and apunya, the wicked. And at any given moment you can identify and fit any person into one of these 4 categories. And within this same passage he gives 4 keys to unlock these 4 locks. So the 4 keys are matri, or friendliness, krurana, or compassion, mudita, delight, and upekshaman, disregard. So this is kind of reminding us that there's this yogic way to approach all people. When you see a person that's happy, we can use the friendliness key. We can share in their happiness, their good fortune, instead of being jealous or trying to destroy it. When we see an unhappy person, we can use the compassion key. You can comfort them. If they need space, give them space. When you see a virtuous person, using the delight key. So instead of feeling jealous or envious, delighting in their virtuousness, delighting in their successes. Kind of be inspired, knowing such greatness is possible. And when you see a wicked or a non-virtuous person, using the final key, the disregard key. Into the final 30 seconds of this twisted roots. And when you're ready, slowly releasing to take a rebound, lying on your back. 2 minutes of resting in this mini Shavasana-like rebound, absorbing the words of this sutra, absorbing any shifts of this practice, this twist. What has this twist wrung out for you? Okay, the next posture, the next shape we're going to use to access the heart chakra is half saddle. So bending through the right knee and taking the right foot on the outside of the right hip. There's massive variance here with the width of the knee. For me, I have more externally rotated pelvis, so taking the knee out wide is really comfortable for me. For other people, it'll be further closer in. Kind of let go of how you think this pose should look and instead find the position of this pose that is comfortable for you. And then from here, just slowly starting to recline backwards, coming to lie on the back, and we're looking for this stretch along the glutes. Sorry, just say the glutes. I meant the hip flexors, the quads. So, our 4 main quads. There could be a slight bit of pulling at the knee, that's normal, but if you start to feel any kind of tension or tightness or pain in the inside of the knee, in the meniscus of the knee, then play with adjusting the angle of your knee. You can also rest the knee on a block or a book or a bolster that kind of takes some of the depth out of the pose. Or if you just can't find a comfortable position in this posture, which was me for a long time during my practice, we can take King Arthur against the wall. So just bringing our right shin parallel to the wall and then lunging into our left knee, adjusting our weight. The further back towards the heel, the more we'll feel it along the quadriceps. So just finding your posture, your way that you can access this stretch along the quadriceps, this spleen and stomach meridian. If you are in the half saddle, I invite you to take the arms up and overhead, and you kind of feel it more in the full line of the body, so you feel this full fascia train open. I've described that for a long time. We're going to be here for 3 more minutes to make 4 minutes in total. We're well over halfway through holding this pose. If you feel like you're in the half saddle and you want to take it slightly deeper, you can bend up the left leg and place it by the right knee, and this kind of creates a little bit more of a stretch. We're into the final minute here. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to slowly come out of this pose. If you're in the King Arthur against the wall, just making your way back to the mat and taking a rebound line on your back. If you're in the half saddle, really slowly and carefully coming out, and then I like to roll over towards the left to kind of unlock the right knee and come back to take a rebound, lying on my back and your back. Sitting in stillness with any sensations that have arisen for us. Greeting them with curiosity and compassion. And then when you're ready, just sitting up, and let's take this half saddle on the left hand side. So bending through our left knee, taking the foot by the hip. If you know half saddle doesn't work for you and you want to take King Arthur against the wall, then go ahead and take it. Finding and adjusting the angle of your knee, maybe using a brick to prop the knee up, and then reclining back into your half saddle. Again, we'll be here for 4 minutes. And as we're now 45 minutes into our practice, we'll slowly talk less and less, still giving you cues as to entry and exit of the pose, but allowing you more space for introspection, more space for exploration of what's happening within your body, within your mind, energetically. Coming into the last minute. And when you're ready, we're slowly going to exit this pose. Gently being careful of the meniscus of our left knee and making our way to lie back in a rebound. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to counteract all this stimulation of the front line of the body with a forward fold. I invite you to take dragonfly, a nice wide-legged forward fold. Just taking your legs out to a comfortable angle and just surrendering forwards. There can be a slight bend in the knees. Sometimes it's quite nice to put maybe a book or a block underneath the knees if you feel any tension there. If you feel like you're struggling to get leverage, folding forwards again, a block or a blanket or a book underneath the sitting bones can really help to access the hamstrings more in this if you're feeling it kind of purely in the spine. When you arrive, just closing down the eyes. We're going to be here for 4 minutes. If the mind has drifted off, guiding it back to the sensations you're feeling on the hamstrings and the groin and the spine. Coming into the final minute of this forward fold. Observing any shifts between opening the front line of the body and opening the back line of the body. And when you're ready, slowly releasing and making your way to a rebound, again lying on your back. Noticing if there's been any shift as we harmonise the airy heart chakra with the earthy grounding root chakra. And also a little bit of water in there too. Okay, the next posture we're going to come into is actually our last heart opening posture, specifically anyway. And it's called Anahatasana, and we're going to be here for 5 minutes. So this is kind of like the peak of accessing the heart chakra. So making our way onto all fours, the hands below the shoulders and knees below the hips. Then keeping the pelvis above the knees, just starting to walk the hands forwards and melt the chest down. Depending on the space in your cervical spine, maybe resting the chin on the floor or maybe resting your forehead down. Maybe adjusting the position of your arms, the width of your arms, until you feel the sensation of opening through the chest. This kind of space being created on the whole front line of the body. This big long fascia chain. And just melt down here. Reminding ourselves of the words of Patanjali's Sutra I read earlier on in the practice as we melt into this heart space. Reflecting if in daily life how it can be happier for people who are maybe happier than us. How we can avoid being envious of those who are more virtuous and respecting the good they are doing. How we can use compassion to those who are unhappy, and how we can disregard those who are non-virtuous. And there's a difference between kind of a disregard to those being unvirtuous and ignoring evil in this world. I think it's really important that we speak out from the heart against the wrongdoings that we see around us. I think this more means accepting and understanding that people's values are all shaped by their circumstance, and then therefore trying to see their point of view so we can create a more harmonious world and we can bind this world together. Coming into the last minute here. And when you're ready, slowly releasing, coming back to all fours. And let's take a rebound in a closed knee child's pose, taking our forehead down towards the earth, feeling this reassuring nature of the forehead against the ground to kind of harmonize this opening of the heart. I'm going to wind down after this, returning to some twists, and then ending in another forward fold. Okay, when you're ready, just gently making your way to come and lie back down on the mat. And there's a couple of options of twists we can take. So you could take the twisted roots like we did at the beginning of the practice. Or maybe you could take a really gentle twist, just placing both feet flat on the floor and allowing the knees to knock over towards the left as you gaze back towards the right. Or if you want to take it slightly deeper than that, maybe hugging the right knee in towards the chest, guiding the right knee over the left leg and then gazing back towards the right for a slightly deeper twist here. Just finding a nice spinal twist that suits you right now. And then closing down the eyes. And allow this twist to unravel and unwind whatever is stored in your body in this moment. To release, to twist out any tension. You're going to be in this twist for 3 minutes. into the last minute of this twist. And when you're ready, slowly releasing from the twist to come and lie flat on your back. Enjoying and being curious through this rebound. And then when you're ready, taking the same spinal twist you took on that side over to the opposite side. So for me, hugging my left knee in and taking it over the right leg for this nice spinal twist. 4 more minutes in this twist. Coming into the last minute of this twist. And when you're ready, slowly releasing. Take your rebound lying on your back. Before we come into our final posture, okay, when you're ready, the final posture we're going to come into is a nice forward fold, harmonising and finishing off this airy practice by coming back down to earth. So there's a choice of two forward folds, either taking a caterpillar, so as young yogis know, Paschimottanasana, so just folding forward over our legs. There can be a slight bend in the knees. You might want to place a blanket or a block underneath the knees if that feels more comfortable. We're targeting the full length of our spine, the urinary bladder meridian, the kidney meridian. Or you can take it into a snail. So I really like to finish this practice with a snail to feel kind of a bit more in my spine. So take the legs, if you're taking a snail, taking the legs up and overhead. Remembering it's a yin practice, so maybe keeping a slight bend in your knees. Maybe allowing your hands to come and hold onto your feet. That feels comfortable for you. Whichever forward fold is calling you and you choose to take, we're going to be there for 3 minutes. And we're just rounding up our practice. Coming into our final minute of this final posture. Allow that cue to maybe check if you're still surfing your edge of your comfort zone. Maybe going slightly deeper into the forward fold. Okay, that's time. So coming out of whichever forward fold you're in, if you're in a snail with your legs over your head, being really gentle and slowly spinal rolling all the way down. And then coming to rest on your back. The spine might feel slightly tender from a deep forward fold. Kind of try to avoid hugging the knees in towards the chest, and maybe just place the feet flat on the floor for a moment and allow the spine to neutralise. If you feel like you need it, maybe rocking the knees from side to side, releasing any tension. And then in your own time, making your way to Shavasana, corpse pose. Allow yourself to surrender down into the ground. Absorb and digest and sit with this practice we've moved through today. Gently, like we did at the start of the practice, tuning back into your senses to arrive back in the space you're practicing in. Observing any sounds, any smells, the feeling of your body against the floor, the feeling of the air against your skin. And feel the rise and the fall of your chest with each inhalation and exhalation. Notice the beating of your heart. The vibrating of your cells. Energy and life force and every little millimeter of your being. And when it feels comfortable to do so, maybe start wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, or allow any movement that just feels natural to come to you. Maybe take a yawn. When you're ready, take a nice deep stretch, take the arms up and overhead and make yourself as long as possible. And then come into rest. On either side in a little fetus pose, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Taking a moment before you're reborn back into this day, this week, this world. And slowly keeping the eyes closed, making your way back to a cross-legged seated position with the hands in prayer in the heart centre. Coming back to your intention, who you've dedicated your practice to. Maybe those suffering in Yemen, maybe someone close to home, or maybe you needed all this love that you cultivated from this practice. And then more broadly, thinking how we can create more time for silence within our own lives, for stillness. How we can learn to surrender control in some occasions. And how we can surf our comfort zone. How through sitting through uncomfortable postures, uncomfortable sensations arising through the postures, we learn to find comfort in discomfort and push ourselves out of our comfort zone. I'm going to close this practice with the mantra Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, translating as may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words and actions of your own life contribute to that happiness in some way. You're in the space of your own house, so feel free to join in and sing from the top of your heart. So I'm going to do a call and response. I'll sing it twice. On the second time you can join in if you don't know the mantra already. Loka, Loka, Samasta, Samasta, Sukhino, Sukhino, Bhavantu, Bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Thank you for joining me for this practice. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry if there's any noises in the background. I'm living in a house with 3 other people. Yeah, thank you for the request for this practice. I was actually unsure after my first yin practice whether it worked without being able to kind of see people in the posture, and for me yin is so much about the energy of the space or a room. But I've actually really enjoyed practicing yin in the comfort of my own house and lighting a little candle and making a little special ritual and time for myself, so I hope you have too. Any requests for any other Yemen fundraising classes, please let me know, and if you enjoyed this class, please just share and spread the word, and let's keep raising money for such an incredible cause. So yeah, thank you.